Okay, so today we're going to be making a really amazing sticky bun recipe. This one is just phenomenal. Here I'm going to give you the directions and the ingredients and also the link to the one that I am currently using. So first you're going to start by adding your yeast and sugar and salt to the bowl of your mixer. And you're going to mix it up. Then you're going to put a cup of milk into the microwave for 1 minute. I would recommend doing 30-second intervals. I find that works best. I recommend letting it bloom for 10 minutes, just as the recipe says, and that's perfect. Then you're going to take 2 eggs and you're going to beat them. And after the 10 minutes of the yeast blooming, you're going to add half of the flour, which is 3.5 cups. So you're going to add about 2 or 1.5 with the eggs to the bloomed yeast mixture. I would stir till it's all incorporated, and then you're going to add melted shortening, 4 tablespoons, and the rest of the flour mixture, and mix it up once again. I apologize. I did not realize I had missed so many spots while I was cleaning. You're going to turn out your dough into a ball and put it into a greased bowl, cover it with a damp towel, and let it rise for 30 minutes. While that's happening, you can get your 1 cup of chopped up pecans, and you're going to want to start your caramel mixture. So you're going to want to melt 4 tablespoons of butter with 1 cup of brown sugar and half a cup of light corn syrup. Now, the recipe says to sprinkle the pecans in the bottom of the pans and pour the caramel on top. I prefer to cook my pecans in the caramel. So after that's all melted down and incorporated, I add my chopped up pecans. You're going to want to grease the pans that you're going to pour your nutted caramel mixture into. Makes it a whole lot easier to turn them out when they're done cooking. You're going to want to lightly flour the surface and your rolling pin that you're going to roll your dough with. You're going to want to turn your dough out, roll it a bit. I like to roll mine a bit and then turn it into like a nice rectangle. Roll it till it's nice and long. I'd say about a foot, 12 inches to about 15 inches. You're going to want it to be thin but not too thin. And then you're going to mix up your your sugar and cinnamon mix to sprinkle on top. I melt about 4 tablespoons of butter to put on top of my rolled out dough. And you'll see why I use so much in a minute. You're going to want to cover the entire surface of the dough with the melted butter. You're going to use 1 cup of brown sugar and about 4 tablespoons of cinnamon and mix them together. Then you're going to sprinkle it all over, and I like to pat it down onto my buttered dough. After I've patted out all the cinnamon sugar onto the dough, I like to add that extra butter on top because who doesn't love extra butter? Am I right? After I've added that butter, I slowly start to roll from edge to edge as tightly as I can. I like to flip the dough over so I can see the seam, and I like to pinch it shut because it helps me cut the dough without it completely unraveling and falling apart. Makes it a whole lot easier. Now I cut the pieces about 1 inch to 1.5 inches thick. I find that's good for all my small children and the people in my house. I like to arrange them depending how many I get cut out of this. This time I think I got 14 pieces, so I did about 7 to each pan. Sometimes I have to rearrange and work it so that I'm happy with how they're sitting in there. As I said, I like to save at least 1 pan, so I write the directions and I wrap it up and I get it into my deep freezer for a later time. You're going to cook these at 375 for 30 minutes. If they get too brown too quick, put a loose piece of foil over the top. I didn't have to, but I have before. And this is how they look right before I flip them out. Might I recommend flipping them out onto a tray that matches what you have baked them in.